When I saw this thing on my For You page, I knew that I had to have it. I knew I had to have it. I saw that and I said, now that is a blade. You got to handle it with care. Look at how big, just let me take it out the bag. Look at that, look at that. Would somebody come look at that? Would you look at that? And if you see the clip right here is nice, sturdy, and strong. If you see the way the clip curves at the bottom, that's actually perfect for your thumb to fit into. Because for a blade that's an everyday carry, you want to be able to whip that thing out immediately. And that little indent right here helps you to flip out the blade while still maintaining control of the overall unit. And if putting it out like this is not your rhythm, there's also a little knob on the back so you can do it up front too. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of these folding ones, and I know that, you know, people are like, oh, but it's safety right here. When I was a kid, my friend, he had one, and he was just jabbing at some wood, and somehow his finger kind of unlocked this blade went and took off a few of his fingers. So ever since then, I've kind of had some nightmares about these type of knives. But that's the cool thing about this knife right here. Let me show you. Now you see how you got this hole right here, and then you also got this pin right here that comes with the blade. But what you do with this pin is that you actually stick it right into this hole right here. It screws right into there. And now that it's all screwed nice and tight in there, because let's say you're doing some type of woodwork or something that requires this to, that you're going to be putting a lot of pressure and you want that extra safety, no matter how much the safety clip comes in, this thing will not fold. Look at this. It won't fold. It won't fold. It's being held in by this bolt right here. And with that little combination, you won't have to worry about any little oopsie daisies. And just for reference, this is a pretty big blade. I have a pretty big head, even comparison to my hand. It's a pretty big blade, and it's got a huge handle on it. Look at that, huge handle. This is a highly recommended everyday carry. I suggest you get one for yourself because they do have a tendency to sell out.